Yay, I think it's working.
Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Soul, Mind, and Business podcast. It's working. It's finally working. Woo! We love it when technology works for us today. It has been a challenge lately. So if you guys have any ideas to help us out, that would be great.
We were smart, and Charlie did a great thing where she went and looked at all the updates to make sure everything's updated. It's just being a butthead. So
I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. I need a tech person on call, on staff, like ready to go.
Let's go.
We are so excited. We have the beautiful, intelligent, and just extremely vibrant sassy Cassi with us today. We love her so much. We've been following her on her Sassy Lounge, and we love her so much. So I would like her to take a minute and introduce herself.
Hi, I cut out a little bit there, but my name is Cassi, and my last name is actually Peach, but a lot of people just know me as Sassy Cassi, and that's been kind of like an ongoing nickname. And I am a specialize in a sexual wellness consultant as well as a spiritual consultant. So I kind of have the best of the both worlds. I got the spiritual health and sexual health all wrapped into one. And my background is actually in holistic health, but we took a shift and I joined a company that expanded on sexual wellness as well. And we focus primarily on women's sexual health. So that was really interesting. And I realized after doing this is one of my passions as well, to add to the list of things that I like to do. And a lot of us have a lot of common ground here in this area, and there's so much that's not explored, and that's what we're kind of helping out here. And I'm here to help women feel normal and natural in their bodies and raise the vibrations and make them feel that all is well, because we are a lot more normal than we think.
what would you think is like your top couple of things that have come to you lately that people have asked, like, is this a normal thing?
A lot of people right now, due to the stressful, the way the world is right now, a lot of people have low libido problems. And they're like, I'm just not in the mood. Like, how do I get my sex drive back? And that's a huge concern. A lot of it too is body positivity. Like, I'm very nervous to open up due to X, Y, and Z reasons, but it all kind of comes down to that confidence level. And another thing that a lot of people come to me about is, so we got like low libido, we have confidence in the bedroom, and then just like bodily functions. Is this normal? Is this normal to last this long, or not like it like this? Or, when it comes to fluids in the body, and we can all say, yes, this is normal. Everybody's different. So it's kind of based on what your normal is. Yeah. So when it comes to the confidence level, and I think that kind of plays in part too with the libido factor, is we live in a very stressful environment, and we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves on every aspect right now, kind of more than ever. And a lot of people know the term self-care, self-love. And but truly, like, do we know it in a sexual standpoint? Do we know it in a body positivity standpoint and in a love standpoint? And there's other areas that we have maybe neglected, that's why our libidos are low, because like it can go with diet, it can go with just stress, medications. I mean, the list can go on as to why somebody's libido is affected. And a lot of the time it's work environment, and the stress levels are very high at this time. So a lot of relaxation techniques are needed in this moment. So.
Right. And I know that not only is my libido and my functions stressed out when I'm stressed, right? They don't function the way they normally would. But in my husband and my partner, it's the same thing. When he's stressed out, he's not in the mood. He doesn't feel like doing any the things, and um
I'm just hearing all these mindset tools like not taking it personally, like we talk about a lot. Like this isn't a personal thing. This isn't because of something that we did or didn't do or say or didn't say or the way we look. Like these are things that are happening in each of our bodies every day, right?
And each person's body reacts differently to those stressors, and your body positivity, the bedroom confidence, the bedroom activities are all affected by that.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And when it comes down to a relationship standpoint, we have to look at a few different things here. Is it like lack of, like there's a few factors that play into that, and it's usually lack of communication and understanding. And the thing is, we need to have a good understanding of our sexual wellness and our bodies in that way too, so we can express that to our partners and vice versa. And there's so much that's not explored on these levels. But it's communication is huge when it comes to the bedroom. It's huge. It's a big deal. And learning how to talk about these things and having those hard and awkward conversations. Sometimes we have to. Understanding as we age too, bodies change. And I was just telling Heather the other day is our bodies are physical proof that things do change. We are not who we were when we were 10 years old. Our bodies have changed significantly since then, and they do progress to do so. So learning where we're at right now in this standpoint, and always having that reconnection, even with your partner or your spouse, or even yourself if you're single, and just knowing where you're at and what your body's doing, and making sure that you have those open communication lines too. And I always tell the girls, like, hey, if you're really concerned, ask these hard questions to your doctor, ask these hard questions to that, that specialized doctor, so then you can get some more clarity and what is normal around this age, and how is our bodies changing, and what has changed in your physical and environment. What have you changed your diet? Have you changed your work environment? Have you changed, you have your stressors changed as well, and seeing how you react to it. It's huge.
Yeah. It is huge. Another thing that I think of when it comes to sexual health is what happens with marketing. And there's certain things marketed to women for their sexual reproductive organs, so to speak, that are not necessarily good for those areas.
Oh, just talk about the Diva Cup already. Cassie's on board.
Well,
I love it.
I'm like, where are you going with it?
Unfortunately, it doesn't have this problem. But for years and years and years, like when I first started my cycle, the only thing we had in the house were pads.
Yeah.
And they were the big mattress pads, if you know what I'm talking about.
The ones the ones that go from like tip to tail.
Everything super everything.
Did you have to like safety pin yours too? Yeah. I remember like the nurse's office in like elementary school, like that's what they had. Like I'm like, what the fuck do I do with safety pins?
Heather.
I
like truth, right?
No, it is.
I have been using I've been using a Diva Cup for a couple of years now.
Yes.
Because I wanted to find something different for my menstrual health, because I am a heavy flow girl. Even
Yes.
after having an ablation, I am a heavy flow girl. I get really bad cramps. I get migraines, the whole nine when I have my cycle. And I do yoga, and that doesn't really work when you want to swim, when you want to do yoga. Tampons and pads just aren't the best
No.
for that. So I did some research and I came across the Diva Cup, and I was like, I'm going to try this and just see if it
Game
works.
changer.
I expected it to leak or overflow or whatever, and it didn't.
No, I
and,
highly
you
recommend
take it as you
I highly recommend the cups. I was just doing a huge discussion in my my private group about that, because there's a lot of girls that are very interested in these products. They're becoming more of a hot topic now and more acceptable. And because when they first came out, I was like, there's no way that's gross. And then I'm like, who am I to shame my own body functions, and fluid, like we're used to this stuff. So and yeah, for same here, heavy flow, extreme cramps, like there's only so much Midol you can take in a day, and the whole nine as well. And my girlfriend was telling me about it, and knowing what I know, because I do sell sexual wellness products and novelty toys, and in that area, a medical grade silicone or a food grade silicone, one that's non-porous, is much healthier than putting fibers inside. And that also, they don't form with your body, so it actually produces a lot more cramping. And there's a term called free bleeding, and I know a lot of people are like, but the cup allows you to naturally just let it out, and it's not, you're not putting a plug or a stopper in there from letting that body's natural flow out. So it actually
Last
helps.
time I bled, I actually tried that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it actually
super
just
comfortable. I
allows it.
forget it's there sometimes.
Right.
I like what you said about the cramps, because I don't think that I ever realized that the tampon could be adding to our already horrendous situation, right? Like, because
Yes.
mine would be so debilitating, I'd be doubled over. I mean, the school nurse at school always just like handed me a water bottle and called my grandma. Like, there was no discussion. Like, this is why you're here. This is what's happening. Like, she's like, and then I remember too, like being at work and being like, I'm going to go take a break, and going outside and not being able to get up, and my best friend having to take me home from work that day just because of cycles. Like, there are some horrendous cycles, and we don't talk about it.
No,
we should
and we
talk about
should
it more,
start
right?
talking about it and making it more normal, and knowing, because I mean, and if you look at the history of sexual wellness for women, like I think our most recent discovery was in 1993. That's not terribly long ago, where we understood the female anatomy, and like they didn't have a name for certain parts of our body up until then. So, and it was kind of like, oh, you have this monthly cycle, and we already know the stereotypes over it, and how we're supposed to hush hush about it, and then throw it under the blanket and not talk about it. You guys deal with it. You deal with this every month. And now they're starting to come out with like machines even to show the guys like what we deal with every month, and then they can't even take it. That's when our bodies are so strong, and that's why when it comes to body shaming for women, don't body shame. Our bodies go through so much, and they change monthly. They change all of the time. And we need to make this a regular topic. We need to make sure that we are inclusive with this stuff. And now they're just coming out with products that are a lot more in the health spectrum for us. And yeah, tampons do add to cramps. I personally believe that, just tried and tested and true. And certain ones would only open up sideways, some don't open up at all, some just expand as a 360, and you need more of that 360 cover so it can fall through naturally. But if you're just got it winding up, then it doesn't form with our bodies, and we need something that naturally forms with us, that can bend with us. And that's where I think
just plug in the hole.
Yeah, no more plugging a hole. We need to let it go.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, it wasn't it you that told me that tampons were invented to like plug bullet wounds?
Yeah,
Like that's what they're
originally.
that's why their tampons were invented. Like
Well, and menstrual pads came around, started about World War II because the nurses in the hospitals treating the wounded military would cut the bandages up to wear them in their undergarments when they're on their cycle
so they could keep working
so that they could keep working.
because
Yeah.
we're strong. 'Cause
Yes.
we're
Yeah,
freaking strong.
we are super strong people here. Like women, I think we have to like start reclaiming that power because like there's so much that we go through and you know and I was always like love for all, but like and now working with women, I've seen a beautiful side to that. Like we are so much more open and talking about things and learning how to because there's so many years of just being quiet, you know, and like, oh, that's gross, don't talk about it. But we need to, so then we can have further development and research over these things because, you know, we cannot progress if we don't know what's really going on. And then when we were talking about like body shaming, like I am so against that. Did you know that 4% of women in the United States claimed that they actually felt pretty? 4%. That's
4%.
uh-huh.
How sad is that?
That
How
is,
sad is that?
I literally like my heart just broke into two. I was like, that's not a lot, you know, and that covers what that leaves 96% that do not feel pretty, and 96% of women, that goes from all types, all cultures, all regions, you know, all body types, and I'm like, we have some commonality more than we think, and this could be a shift in how we are now, you know, dealing with that, because I feel that every single woman should feel beautiful. No, you know, we all have things that we want to work on and self-improvement, but let's not make ourselves feel less beautiful because we are a work in progress every single day. And that's the beautiful side of that is I think women too, we work on self-development much more. I'm not saying that men do not. I'm just simply saying that women are a little bit more open and talking about it, and we are allowed to be vulnerable, and we do lift each other up, and we see beauty in every single person, but why aren't we allowing that for ourselves is the main question. And there's so many things that are said to that and how we've grown in this society. And you know, like a lot of I have like the numbers, I'm like 4% of women in the US think that they're beautiful. 91% are unhappy with their body. And that's a huge, and over 40% of women would consider undergoing plastic surgery to fix their flaws.
Wow.
Who, I want to know who was the person that said a person had a flaw in the first place. Like, I want to know what that flaw was. Like, why did they label this was a flaw? Why did they label that? And I mean, even myself, I thought about undergoing plastic surgery. There's moments where I hated how I looked and I didn't like my body. And it's funny because now I'm like, man, if I just loved my body back then, you know, and it's changed. So it's interesting how we all see that. And I'm like, we kind of skipped out on a huge part of ourselves and let ourselves not love each other, like ourselves in the moment. And then we look back on those and we're like, dang, where did it, I could have loved that a lot more, because now my body's proven to change again. And now I have to re-love myself where I'm at. And that's what it is. It's coming back to that. Oh my goodness, you guys.
That is amazing. Yes. And it's such a journey too. And our bodies are going through this journey with us. Like, I was thinking about it. I was like, am I all of a sudden supposed to not like myself in a swimsuit? I've lost 170 pounds. I'm going to wear the swimsuit. I can
Wear the
buy one off
swimsuit.
the rack. Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Swimsuit.
You've heard that
yes,
term
I
where they're
left it
like,
was,
sorry.
No, go.
Like, I was like, you know the term where they say like how to get a bikini body? You put a bikini on your body and that's it. Like we should all embrace those moments. And I'm not saying I'm not sitting there saying like if you don't feel comfortable, you go ahead and do it. But like literally that's ultimately no one. I think we judge ourselves more than we're judging the next person. To be quite honest, I think we're the hardest critics on ourselves because we've been feeding into the media. We've been feeding into. Did you hear the Victoria's Secret song? I've got it. You know, I found Victoria's Secret. He was made up by a dude. Like, let's reclaim that. Let's literally go and be natural in ourselves. Let's reclaim it. We'll make up our own secret. And it's called We Don't Have Any.
Yeah.
Go get that bathing suit, girl.
I agree.
My body image and positivity has grown so much. I kind of miss the body I had when I was 19, but I'm very proud of the body I have now because it is strong, it is beautiful, it is flawed, it tells my story.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, every scar, every stretch mark tells that story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I'm happier with my body now when I was 19
than when you were 19.
Yeah. Like I'm happier with it now, you know. And I know it's never going to look the same way it did.
We can't age backwards, but we can age gracefully.
Exactly. Reflects on the outside. And that's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically.
Yep. Our bodies are our temples, and that's what it is. We hold the power, we hold the knowledge of it, we know the stories, we can share those stories. And they all do tell a story, you know. And that's why like there's a thing with like scars, and it's like every scar tells a story, whether it's hysterical, whether it's brutal, whether it's in between, it all tells a story. And with that too, it's we're not going to be because we're not 19 anymore. We're not going to have that body at 19, but we have the body at whatever age you are at now. I have the body of a 33-year-old Cassie. This is her body. She needs to own it because this is what we were meant to go through. Our bodies do tell the story, and we have that choice to change and make those options. And we have those choices. And I think living in a state of mind where we're not happy with it, it's just putting a cage around it. It's not letting your body be free. And your body wants freedom in the way it needs to be. And whether you're a size 0 or a size 99, your body is meant to be that in that moment because it tells the story. And we always have that, and I always say that don't be shameful, like, because we're holding space for people. A lot of people with like, whether it's weight, it might, weight or the opposite of that, there's there's a lot of diagnoses out there, but a lot of it is due to the energy that we hold. And how much are we holding for people? How much are we expressing ourselves? And sometimes we just need to hold that energy for us too, and really like dig into that. And I've done a lot of like body things because, no matter what size we are, we can always say, I wish I looked like that. But are you wishing that your face is on that body that you're wishing? Or, and then when you realize that, you're like, wait, if I put my face onto that doesn't look like me. That we have to start visioning ourselves as us. And, if we do have those goals for our bodies to, better them, we need to see ourselves. We got to see our bodies. We live with us until the day we die. And we need to start honoring every step of the way of that. So I'm all for it.
That's beautiful.
Yes. You all are
Thank you
beautiful.
so much, Cassie, for joining us today.
I'm yes. All the things, yes.
Right.
We're so blessed to have you join us today on the podcast. Your passion for women's health, and the beauty within reflecting out, and just it's all wonderful, and we love you so much, and we
I
care
love
about you
you
so
too
much.
as well. You guys make me smile every single day, and thank you for asking me to be here. I am always going to be supported, and you guys support women as well. So like that makes me so much more excited about that, that we can all be in this community together.
Absolutely.
And as part of our community of entrepreneurs, we always encourage, every episode we talk about entrepreneurs leading the way and giving in our community. And as women, as we are becoming the more and more of the entrepreneurs, we get to have more and more say in where those charitable monies are going. And so this, our cause of the quarter, this quarter, there we go, words, is the Cheers Foundation, and they help families when they need help the most. I think when they lose a child, and all of these expenses and things come up unexpectedly, and it's a great organization. So we're just reminding everybody about that. And they were started really local, and now they're national and international. So that's really cool and inspiring, as well as we have ladies that are trying to grow things or start things, that if you just start, things grow. So
And when we talk about women's health, think about the fact that 1 in 4 women have lost a child. 1 in 4 of us. Those are your sisters, those are your friends, those are the other women you see every single day. And so
I
we
know
just
my
wanna love and
grandma's
support them.
generation did not talk about it.
No.
We had babies lost in our family. I had a lady in that generation that completely went through breast cancer by herself, because you don't talk about what's going on with you. And I don't think that's okay.
Yeah, my grandma did that before she
It's
died.
not time to be
Yeah.
quiet.
No.
No, these are
No.
so,
We're made to do things in community, hard things.
yeah, you're not alone.
You're not alone. We're meant to do these things together, not by ourselves.
Yeah. So
I'm reading a
that's
book.
definitely what we.
I'm reading
are
a
you
book
reading?
Called Untamed, and she in her podcast is We Can Do the Hard Things. So I'm in love with Glennon. And
Us too. We love her so much.
yeah, and that's what I mean. We need to start talking and speaking up about just whatever it is. Like I think I almost talk about my cycle way too much, and I'm like, oh, full moon, here it is, and like I joke around about it, but like at the same time, we have to just normalize talking about our.
She's full moon cycle too. She's totally like.
Okay, yay,
Yeah.
twin.
Yeah.
Full moon cycle. Every full moon.
Yep. That's me.
When's the next full moon? Because I know that's been my thing. Yeah.
We've been trying to get together with Susan Gala and do a Yanni steam, not watch. She's not going to watch us do it, but she's going to walk us through it so we don't burn ourselves or hurt ourselves inappropriately. We would like to continue walking and having a good experience, right? So she's going to teach us, but you need to not be bleeding when you do a Yanni steam. So
right.
So
we've been trying to find a time when I'm not on my cycle, because Heather fortunately doesn't have to worry about it anymore. I still do. But anyway, hippopotamus. If you have any questions or anything, BSMB.com. We love you all. Thank you for hanging out with us today. And thank you, Cassie, for joining us. We love you so much. And see you next time.
Bye.
Mwah.